I'm Narcogen from Rampancy.net.
And I'm Blackstar from Blackstar Productions.
Having finished our playthrough of Bungie's classic sci-fi shooter Marathon, we thought we'd...
Hey, wait a second.
What?
Why do you look like that? Why do I look like this? We're Spartans. There aren't any Spartans in Marathon.
Yes, I know. Today's episode involves Halo, though, so it's sort of appropriate. Besides, there aren't any security officer models in Garry's mod.
Garry's mod isn't even a Bungie game.
Never mind that and just get on with it.
Oh, all right. We finished with Marathon 1. We thought we'd compare some things that Marathon has in common with Bungie's famous Halo series.
In fact, a lot of those things are better in Marathon.
Now, let's not get crazy now. Halo is a great game.
I'm not saying Halo isn't a great game, or that Marathon is better than Halo. It's just that some of the things they have in common actually just seem better to me in Marathon.
Disclaimer, this video is not representative of the opinions of Blackstar Productions or its subsidiaries. Anyone who actually has this particular feelings, it's theirs to their own, and nobody else should claim responsibility or have any issues with it whatsoever. Number 7, Rampancy. Smart AIs like Cortana's go rampant after 7 years. They think themselves to death. It's sort of like electronic Alzheimer's. Plus, she was never the same after Gravemind.
Rampancy in the Marathon universe is an uncontrolled expansion that passes through 3 phases: anger, sadness, and envy. Eventually, all 3 AIs from the colony ship Marathon end up going rampant and have a profound effect on the universe. Tycho tries to help the 4 destroy Durandal. Durandal defeats the 4 and ends up with the dreadnought of a vanished elder race as his plaything. Leela spreads herself out over the computer networks of so many planets that the galaxy will never be rid of her again. Sort of like the NSA, but more helpful.
That brings me to number 6, AI Companions. Cortana is great. Sometimes she snarks at the Master Chief a little, otherwise she's always helpful. The one time she really got mad at the Master Chief, though, he did deserve it. Well, and that one other time.
Durandal worked himself up from being in charge of opening and closing doors to summoning alien races, stealing their spacecraft, disrupting their entire civilization, liberating a race enslaved for 1,000 years, and missed out on becoming a god by a narrow margin. Okay, so you can't trust him, but if you really need something done, who would you call?
Cortana?
No.
Durandal?
No. Trouble.
This isn't a spelling bee.
It's too bad. I love bees.
Number 5, Transportation. In Marathon, humanity doesn't even have faster-than-light travel and has only one off-world colony. You move around locally with teleporters that almost never ever strand you in the past in a much more primitive game.
Yeah, I hate it when that almost never happens. In Halo, humans needed faster-than-light travel to colonize the galaxy. And then the Covenant came and destroyed all the colonies and drove humans back to Earth. Slip-space drives mess up continuity so bad that no lost network packets page would ever fix all the mistakes. And local transportation includes cool things like pelicans that crash more often than they land, and the Warthog, which likes sliding and flipping more than it likes driving in a straight line.
I love my Puma. Number 4, Aliens. The Covenant and Halo are dangerous religious terrorists who found awesome ancient technology and tried to use it to make themselves gods by destroying everything.
The 4 also found ancient and advanced technology and did what any reasonable alien race would do with it. They enslaved everything in sight and became masters of the galaxy.
Do you really think the 4 could stand up to elites and brutes?
I think Admiral Tafir would have had the Prophet of Truth's head on a pike staff before lunch.
Number 3, Cyborgs. The Master Chief is tough. He was kidnapped as a child, trained to be an elite soldier, enhanced cybernetically, and sent to war against impossible odds almost entirely by himself.
Compared to Marathon's security officer, though, the Master Chief has had it easy. The Chief's shields recharge automatically. All he has to do is find something to hide behind for a few seconds to be invulnerable. The security officer's shields can only be recharged at specific stations. The Chief also knows he's a near-invincible cyborg. The security officer has no idea. Before he was a cyborg, he was dead. And before that, it's possible he was imprisoned as a convicted criminal. He's not sure, since he only remembers that part of his life in a nightmarish stream of consciousness that disappears into the waves. Into the waves. The waves. Number 2, dual wielding. In Master Chief's first game, he couldn't dual wield anything, and the security officer starts out dual wielding pistols.
In Halo 2, the Master Chief could dual-wield Needlers and SMGs. But the security officer could also dual-wield shotguns.
Enough said.
Okay, you got me there.
And the number one thing in Halo that is better in Marathon...
You mean the same?
Bungie. From its founding in 1991 up until they were bought by Microsoft, Bungie produced 9 unique titles across several self-developed intellectual properties, including Marathon, Myth, and Oni, as well as starting work on Halo. Games in those franchises were produced for Mac and Windows computers, as well as the PlayStation console. In addition, 2 sequels were produced by third parties made up of ex-Bungie employees or Bungie community members. Bungie even published their own games, as well as games made by others using licensed versions of the Marathon and Myth engines.
Bungie started developing Halo systems for Mac and PC, but in 2000 they were bought by Microsoft. Halo became an Xbox-only title. Bungie became a Halo-only studio, making 5 games in all.
Once again independent since 2007, and with their Halo contract obligations fulfilled, Bungie has a new publishing deal with Activision and a brand new, original, and wholly owned IP, Destiny.
Microsoft formed a new studio, 343 Industries, to continue the Halo franchise. Lots of people think Bungie still makes Halo games, but they don't. Halo 4 was made by 343 Industries alone, and in all likelihood, Bungie has made its last Halo game ever.
There's a Halo 4?
You do need to get out more.
If Destiny is successful, though, Bungie might just make another Marathon game. Their contract with Activision permits them to form a team to work on a Marathon title if Destiny reaches certain revenue targets.
So there you have it. 7 things in Halo that are also in Marathon.
Better in Marathon.
Don't make me come over there.
Join us soon when we start our playthrough of Marathon 2 Durandal.
So, I think that's it. Do you need a ride?
No thanks. I got one.